YouTube and all my subscribers and commenters and viewers. I thought today, and don't mind me, I got a cough drop in my mouth. I thought I'd talk today about what's my fine, what do I live on a month? Now, I can tell you right now that I'm going to have a lot of commenters say that's not possible. But it is possible. So, anyway, I'm going to start a little bit about back. I'm going to go backwards a little bit. When I first got on Social Security, I wasn't making much at all because most of my married adult life was in, and I didn't work when I was single. I no sooner turned 18, I was 19 when I got married. And so I had one job before that time, and that, we don't even want to talk, we don't want to even go there. But I had a couple of jobs when I was married, and then as years went by, I had a few more jobs. Some I made some good money at. But then I got on disability. So, and they go by different things that Social Security does. But my overall Social Security that I was allowed in for mine was only $175. So naturally, the state added to that, which brought it up to, I think at the time it was $500. So I basically back then was living on $500 a month. And I was doing it. Of course, my kids were all grown. I didn't have my kids at the time. Or did I? 91. No, my kids were up and grown. So I had disability, and as the years went by, it's grown. Well, when I turned 65, then it went from disability to Social Security. And then my second, no, God, I've been married 4 times. Just to let y'all know. My last husband passed. Of course, we were divorced. They automatically signed me up for his check, which brought me up then to, oh gosh, I forget. But by that time, I had earned my way to $400 a month just for my Social Security, and then added his to it. So it was like $1,100 or something like that. Well, it has since went up to $1,322 a month. So I get $1,322 a month now. And when I was living, of course, and that went up since I was in Florida. So when I was in Florida, it was a little over, I think it was $1,113, something like that. And it has since went up every year, the COLA. Well, I lived down there very well. Now, I didn't have no great big fancy house or anything like that. And I did have a little bit of help from the state. I had some food stamps. And then, of course, during the virus thing, they upped everybody's food stamps. So I had like $280-some worth of food stamps. But that amount of money I was living on, and before they give that much food stamps, naturally I just had, they were paying my premium for me, my insurance premium, and so I didn't have to pay for that myself. And I think I had like $143 worth of food stamps. But my rent was $450, and had electric, which during the wintertime it got up to almost $300 a month. Then I had sewer and water I had to pay for, and another thing of trash. Well, the one trash was free, but then the other one that went along with anything that you wanted to get rid of, like furniture or anything like that, they had a place for that. And so along with the sewer and water, and they added the trash, so I had that. But I had credit cards. So I lived on that. I lived right on the bay where I could sit there and watch the sharks and dolphins and anything else that was in the water, and then watch the sunset come up. Well, like I said, it wasn't a fancy place at all. It was a trailer. A trailer that I made look nice. Because the owner was a millionaire. But you know, I got why he's a millionaire, because he wasn't fixing nothing up. But I made it work for me, and I had plenty of money to pay my credit cards and everything. So now, and of course, and in my insurance, if I went to the doctors to a special or something, I had to pay a copay for any of that. Had to pay so much for my meds. Well, when I got sick and I moved back here, me and my daughter made a deal with me getting this camper, which was $500 down and $400 a month. So that was coming out, and that was before it up to 1,322. So anyway, fast forward to I went while I was paying on the camper. The year that I could not handle another year in the wintertime here, I went and got an apartment, which cost me, started out at $279 a month, plus I had my electric, plus my internet and cable. Oh no, I didn't have it. I didn't have cable. I just had internet, and I had Roku. And I didn't have to pay any water or trash. So while I was doing that, while I was paying rent and stuff, I was still paying the $400 on the camper. And I still have a little bit of help with food stamps and my insurance premium. But I did it. So fast forward to where I'm at now. Right now, I get $1,322 a month to live on. My rent here is, well, I pay electric and I pay lot rent. And the lot rent is $50 for my camper a month, and the electric's $150, which my sewer and everything's all hooked up to all of that, and I have water. And plus, I got my car insurance, which is $100 a month. And my phone right now is $38 a month. Okay, I decided after I got all those things paid for, which the camper's paid for now, so I don't no longer have that. And I have, I'm not quite sure. I mean, I could write it all down, but I'm not going to go to all that because I'm just basically showing you that if you make up your mind, you can live on that much money a month. Of course, it took some work. My daughter, found the camper for me and made the deal for me. But whatever it is that you're doing, and you think that you can't do it, that's where sitting down, and I do it as soon as I get up in the morning. Sit down, whether it be with your coffee, your tea, or whatever, and sit there with the Creator. Now, I've recently learned his name is Yahuwah, the great I am. No, it's not none of them other names. And until I learn different, Yahuwah, the great I am, is what I'm right now I'm going to call him. So if anything changes down the line that I find out that his name is different than that, then I will inform you and I will inform myself. So anyway, I sit down and I be still and I listen and I talk with my thoughts. Sometimes I talk with my mouth about it all. And we sit down together and figure out how I can live on $1,322 a month and have the food that I need and want. Now, I was getting help up until September. And I believe it was in August that I told I went over, signed a paper and said from the state that I no longer wanted any form of assistance, and that meant paying my medical premium and no more food stamps. So the medical premium was $164, and the food stamps I was getting was $85. So we can just knock that out of the picture altogether. So now, coming up, out of $1,322, we'd knock off $164 and disregard the $85 that I would have got. So that'll bring me down to, I think it's 1,158, something like that, that I have to live on. Let me see. I'll tell you exactly here. 1322 take out 64. Yeah, $1,158 is what I'll start having to live on. So, like I said, I take the time every morning and sit down and commune with Yahuwah, the great I am, who is in me, and all the tools and everything that the Creator has given me. And we sit down and we decide how things are going to go. Now, okay, when we're sitting down and talking with the Creator, and we want to know, like I said, form your imagination, paint the picture, because the scriptures does say, write it down and make it plain. Well, I suppose you could write it down. Well, I have written it down before, but what I create, me and the Creator works on in here, and I get the feeling, that I've already got it and how wonderful it feels and everything, and then I speak it. Then, how do I want to say this? I lost my train of thought. then it'll either come to you some way, some form that'll be where you can afford to pay for it, or it's given to you or something, or an opportunity will come by that'll help you. Let me give you an example. I know a lot of you have heard this story about there was this great flood and this man had to get up out of his house and crawl up on the roof. And all the water's around him. And he's praying, God sent, come help me. Do something for me. God, come help me. Well, 3 different times somebody came by and offered him a lift off of that roof. And apparently he drowned. They got him and he drowned. He died. And he gets to heaven. He said, why didn't you save me? And God said, well, I sent you 3 different people to get you off of that roof. So recognize opportunities when you see it. That's like with me. All right, for a year now or more, a year that I've been getting this nudge to start a YouTube channel. Oh, no, I could never do that. No, I couldn't do that. Look at me. No teeth, and I'm not a speaker. And what would I talk about, So finally, while I was still in the apartment, I did one video. And I forgot all about it. After I moved back in here, I didn't have to pay rent up there no more naturally, but after I moved in here, I happened to look at that one video and somebody commented on it. In fact, one person commented on it. And I commented back. And that gave me the encouragement. That gave me the boost, the push to go ahead and try a couple more. And I did try a couple more. And before you know it, I had 2,000 subscribers. I don't know how many views and comments. And somebody said on there, well, why don't you monetize? You've got enough now that you can do that with. Now, mind you, it's a little bit of work. But it's a lot better than going out there and working for somebody else you have to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning and get to work, or you have to work night shift or afternoon shift, or and if you work midnight and then you have to go back when you get home, you have to sleep all day. So at my age anyway, there's nobody gonna hire me out there, and with my legs and stuff the way they are, I couldn't do the job. So the Creator within me helped me sit down and figure out, okay, this is your road right now. That's not necessarily the way it's always going to be, but that's your road right now. And believe it or not, my very first paycheck, it was for part of August and September. Part of my paycheck was enough to cover what I lost when I walked away from the government helping me. All those benefits. So there you go. That's what taking the time in the mornings and sitting down and doing what Yahuwah the great I am tells you to do. Write it down on the canvas of your imagination. Let your imagination work for you. Let your feelings work for you. And let your words work for you. And the Creator that's out there in everything. The Creator is in everything. Will draw what it is that you're supposed to have to help you along your life's path. So yes, I live on $1,322 a month, and I live just fine. Now, grant you, I'm in a camper, and I've had to do a lot of hard work to make it as homey as I could for me. And a lot of times I get discouraged, and I just want to throw my hands up in the air and give up. And after starting the YouTube channel, which I'm a hothead to begin with, and it don't take nothing to stir me up to make me angry. And when people come on there and say things that it hurts my feelings or something like that, or I don't agree with, it tears me up, and then I have to move through that and say, well, you know what? Just let them be. And I've had a lot of my subscribers and listeners say, just let it go, because you get, the more comments you get, the more you get paid. So I've had to learn, just like everybody else is learning, to let it go. Just let it go, so that I can go the path that I'm supposed to go right now. So right now I've got a job that the Creator God seen ahead of time what was going to be good for me, because I get to do all my creativity. I get to learn how to talk and speak. I get to enjoy other people. I once said to myself and the Creator, I said, boy, I would love to know everybody in the world. Well, it's getting kind of close there, that I don't know everybody firsthand, but I'm learning about people. And so, yeah, I live on $1,322 a month. Now, it's supposed to go up 3.5% come January. So, do the math. And now, what I want to focus on a whole lot is getting my credit cards paid for. Oh, I do have, I have propane I've got to pay for, which I just recently filled my tank up, and that was $252. But I had some money saved up that I could just take out and pay that. So, the bottom line is, there's a lot of people that says that they can't do it. Well, I'm sure that it looks like they can't, because remember, looks can be deceiving, and you got a lot of dark entity out here talking to you and trying to stir you up and tell you, no, you can't do it, you can't do it. But like I said, no, you by yourself, you can't do it. But if you sit down every morning before you start your day out, well, I know a lot of people is going to say, well, I work at night, I come home and I go to bed, and then the day's shot. Well, whenever you get up, set aside at least 15 minutes. But the reason why I take so long is because I've been a messed up person for many years. So we're not just working on what am I going to do for today or next week or so. We're working on healing me inside. So, yeah, it's going to be another common, I think I had it figured out. It's going to be $1,358, something like that I'm going to get. So, once I get this squared away with how much I see that they're going to withhold from me, which should be $164 that I'm paying for myself. No help from the state, nothing. That's coming out of my Social Security that I worked for in my lifetime and my husband worked for in his lifetime. Now, my first husband, he was supposed to be paying me child support, but that never happened. So, but that's all right, you know. You reap what you sow. That's all I got to say. So I know, like I said, I'm going to get a lot of comments. And if I decided to move out of the camper and get an apartment someplace where I had to pay somebody else rent or see about buying a house and having a mortgage, I still could do it. And then I owe it all to Yahoo, the great I am. Bottom line. And but I'm going to go now, and you guys go ahead and comment all you want. If I don't like it, I just won't say anything. I just won't even give you a like. I won't give you a heart. Whatever. I do it because in each one of you could do it too. Now each person's life is going to be different and what they have to pay and everything. So don't be afraid to move into a house that the air blows through the windows and the cracks around the windows and the carpet don't look the best in the world, or what the paint is chipping off the walls. Work with it. A little coat of paint yourself, and take your stuff that you've got and make it you. So, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. But remember the other half of that scripture. It says a broken spirit will dry up your bones. You'll get old and crinkly and what, blah, 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 blah. And we let ourselves get that way in here. Out here is not the main thing. In here, we get all dried up and bitter. So if you believe you can, or if you believe you can't, you're right either way. Y'all have a great day.